Thank you so much for your precious time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you ever hung out with me before, you might already know something fascinating about emotions. In neuroscience, there is this strange paradox. Most of us believe something simple. Something bad happens in life, and that creates the emotion. A painful event equals sadness. A loss equals despair. Rejection equals heartbreak. And to be clear, outside events absolutely matter. Life situations really do change signals inside the body. Bad news can increase cortisol and adrenaline. Social pain can increase stress hormones and inflammatory signals. Sudden loss can lower dopamine and serotonin temporarily. So the outside world really does push the body. But the emotional intensity you feel depends on something else at the same time. Your brain is constantly measuring signals coming from inside your body. Stress hormones like cortisol, energy signals like blood sugar and oxygen, minerals like magnesium and iron, neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, and norepinephrine, signals from the gut and immune system. This internal sensing system is called interoception, and the emotional experience you feel comes from a combination of two things: what signals the situation creates, and what signals were already present inside your body before the situation even happened. Imagine two people losing a job unexpectedly. Job loss increases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline because the brain detects threat and uncertainty. Now imagine the first person. Their body signals are relatively balanced, sleep normal, blood sugar stable, serotonin and dopamine relatively healthy. The stress signals rise, but the brain still has room to regulate. The thoughts might sound like this is really hard, but I'll figure something out. Emotion, sadness, and concern, but still manageable. Now imagine the second person experiencing the same job loss, but their body signals was already under heavy pressure before it happened. Poor sleep, cortisol already high, serotonin low from chronic stress, energy depleted. Now the same event raises cortisol and adrenaline even higher on top of an already overloaded body signals. The brain receives extremely intense signals, and the thoughts might sound like my life is collapsing, I'm trapped forever. And the thoughts might hit the soul way more stronger than before than the person one. The emotions might be way stronger and way more hitting the soul. The person might feel way more empty inside, way more crushed. Their soul might have way less peace. Another example: imagine two people going through a breakup. Breakups increase stress hormones, reduce dopamine reward signals, and activate brain regions like linked to social pain. Now imagine the first person. Their body chemistry is relatively stable, energy levels normal, nervous system balanced. The emotional signals rise, but the brain interprets them like this hurts deeply, but time will heal it. Emotion grief, but still tolerable. Now imagine the second person. Their body signals are imbalanced and maybe carried strong stress signals before the breakup. Low serotonin, high inflammation, chronic stress. It's hundreds and even thousands of biological signals, iron levels, gut signals, oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood, magnesium, GABA receptors in the brain that work like a fan to thoughts. And magnesium, for example, can stabilize them. Serotonin, endorphins, dopamine, norepinephrine. When the breakup adds more stress hormones and reduces dopamine, the total signal becomes overwhelming. The thought might sound like, I'll never recover from this emotion, deep despair. So one person can somehow manage to go through the breakup, but the other person might feel billion times more empty and depressed from the situation. This situation also depends on factors like how much they loved each other, etc. But let's say both had exact same love for each other and exact same memories and exact same feelings. This example applies the exact same way. Another example: imagine two people receiving subtle financial bad news. Financial threat increases cortisol and adrenaline because the brain detects danger to survival resources. First person, their body signals are balanced. Oxygen levels normal, magnesium stable, which helps regulate stress responses. When cortisol rises, the brain interprets the situation like, this is scary, but I can't think through solutions. Emotion worry. They might feel less torn. Their soul might feel less depressed and torn from that situation. Imagine the second person. Their body was already depleted, poor sleep, blood sugar unstable, cortisol already elevated, serotonin and dopamine imbalance, and hundreds of and even thousands of different biological signals. When the financial shock adds more stress hormones, the brain receives signals that feel far more intense. The thoughts might sound like everything is ruined, emotion, panic, and hopelessness. Another example, imagine two people feeling excluded from a group. Not two people in the same group, but one person in their group, another person in their group. Social exclusion activates brain systems similar to physical pain and increases stress chemistry. First person, their internal signals are balanced, serotonin stable, nervous system calm. The brain processes the exclusion like, that hurts, but I still have so much value. Emotion sadness. So it tears their soul apart way less. It hurts them way less. Their thoughts hurt way less empty than the person number two. Now imagine the second person. Their body already carried loneliness signals, higher cortisol, lower dopamine, increased threat detection. When exclusion adds more stress signals, the emotional intensity multiplies. The thoughts might sound like, no one wants me, emotion, deep rejection, and despair. So their thoughts hurt way more than the person's one. They may feel way more torn apart. They may feel way greater pain than the person number one. And this is the part that fascinates me so much. Life events absolutely matter. They really do change body chemistry. They raise hormones and stress signals. But emotional intensity you feel depends on the combination of two things happening together. The signals the situation creates and the signals your brain was already sensing inside your body before the situation even happened. Your brain is constantly combining what is happening in the world with what is happening inside your body. Your emotions appear exactly where those two signals meet, which means the same painful life event can feel completely different depending on the internal signals your brain was already measuring. And to me, that is one of the most fascinating things about neuroscience, because your brain is not simply reacting to the world, it is translating the world through the biology of your body. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Feel free to hang out with me even more and explore our feelings, emotions and thoughts in other videos. But absolutely no pressure. Take care, especially take care, and I can't wait to catch you soon.